Well, welcome to GTC's Teaching Tidbits. Each episode, we explore a teaching technique, tip, practice, or idea from faculty for faculty. And joining me in today's episode is April Akins from the Curriculum and Instructional Support Center, CISC for short. Welcome, April.
Thank you.
Well, I'm excited that you're here. One of the primary administrative tasks that each faculty are asked to complete routinely is that of submitting attendance in a timely manner. And many faculty members, myself included, prefer to keep their own set of records as well as a reference and a backup. April is here today to share a way to record attendance with specifically for in-person and I think synchronous classes with a unique look at a tool that we all have access to, and that is Microsoft Forms. So April, I am excited to see what you have to share with us. I'm going to turn it over to you to share your teaching tidbit.
So with in-person classes, one easy way to get your students to kind of be more responsible for their attendance in class is to start using Microsoft Forms. And I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can get that set up. You can put it in your PowerPoint itself, or you can just kind of put a link up or a QR code that the students scan when they come in the classroom. So first I want to walk you through how to create the form itself in Microsoft Forms, and then show you how you can actually put that in your PowerPoint. So first off, log into your GTC for me, your My Apps page, and then access the Waffle or the app launcher, depending on what you call it. I like to call it after food. And then you want to select the Forms option. So if you click on it, you'll find Forms here. And you can see I have a variety of forms going on. But what you want to do is just create a new form here at the top. And then if you click into it, you probably may have done this with Google, and it's very similar to like Google Forms, but this is tied back into your Microsoft now. So you want to name your form. So I'm just going to say attendance. Let's see if I can spell it correctly. And I'm just going to say, let's say my classes, ABC 1, 2, 3. This is section 1, 2, 3. And if I want to put some sort of note here, students, please register your attendance. And I'll show you what it looks like for the students once we get it built, but just something that lets them know you want them to sign in as they come into the class. And then do a quick start with, you can select that option. I would say do a text box or a text question first. So, please submit your name. So something to get them that you want their name, you're trying to record their name. Because until they have access to Microsoft as an email address, then we need to make sure that they're submitting their name to us. So I want to make this required. So I want to make sure that they do include that. And then I want to add another question to my form as well. This one, I'm going to put the date. And I'm just going to make it a date picker. So enter today's date. That way they're registering for today's class. And that's going to automatically let them, it's going to pop up the little calendar for them. Again, I'm going to mark it required. So I'm just going to preview this so you can see what the actual form would look like for the student. So here they're going to submit their name. I'll just put mine in here real quick. And then for today's date, it pops up. I select the date. Then all I need to do is hit submit. And then that records my response. So I have registered saying I was in class today. They also, you can look at it, see what it looks like on a mobile, if you want to see what it looks like that way. So it's still there, a little bit smaller, but easy for them to use. So I'm going to hit my back button here. So then the next step, after you've built that form, the next step you want to do is go to your settings up here at the top and select settings. Because they do not have a Microsoft Outlook type of account with Greenville Tech yet, what you'll want to do is switch this to anyone can respond. And then come down here at these options for responses. So a couple ways you can do this. You can just keep it an open form and it's always popping up. Every week you put the same form up there. Or you can come in every day before class starts and put a start date and an end date. That way they can't access it except for during that time frame. So let's say I want to make sure that they do it at the beginning of class and class starts at 2 o'clock. And I just want to give them till 2:15. That's 15 minutes I got to do that at the beginning. You can also set a time duration to that. So if I want to make sure they do it within those first 10 minutes, it's only open from 2 to really to 2:10. I can do it that way as well. Another thing is you don't have to put this up at the beginning of class. If you want to embed this in your PowerPoint and have it done, maybe 30 minutes in it, you've done your lecture part, they're going to do some hands-on activity and you want them to make sure that they're recording in the middle of class so they can't come in and then kind of leave at the, at the midpoint of the class. You can register as many times as you want during the day. The thing with doing the start and end date, it will close out the form at that time. So what you'll need to do is the next time there's a class, you'll just need to go in and change the start date, end date so that you can keep recording it. I would say do it that way, and I'll show you why, because when you actually collect your responses, you'll want it to all come into the same page. Let me go back and open it because right now it's showing it's closed. Go back to my settings. I'll turn this off. I'm just going to turn those off for now. And then when I go to my view responses, you can see we have one response where I did that one. So I've got my response here. I show my names here and the date. But then you can also open the results in Excel. When I click on that, it's going to pull up an Excel spreadsheet. And this is where you can save this, come back to it. You've got that, record on hand over time. So I've got when they actually logged in, their name, and then the date that they attended. So what you would do, you'd have it for today, and then let's say you do it again tomorrow's class, it would completely fill in the same Excel spreadsheet, which is helpful that you've got it all in one place. Or if you need to, you could create one every day. If that's, you want a separate one for each class period, you can do that as well. And I will say up here, once you get more names and more information, it will let you click through here and kind of give you some diagrams and some different graphs and views, which is kind of cool to see over time. So that is creating the form itself. And you can use templates. You can make it fancy, change around the settings if you want to as well. But what you want to do to actually put this into your PowerPoint, go over here to where it says collect responses. We'll hit the collect responses. Again, I want to make sure anyone can respond to it until they have a Microsoft account that we can connect with. You want to use that anonymous response. Then here, I can just copy the link for the actual URL to get back to the form. You might want to hit the shorten button because it's going to be a pretty long, crazy link to figure out. So if somebody's having to type it in manually somewhere, you want them to have that shortened link. Another option to use is the QR code. So if you switch to this little, I don't even know what you call it. It's got little boxes and an X on it. That's the QR code option. So here it gives you that QR code. You can download that and then just put that in your PowerPoint to use in class. So the first 5 minutes of class, you want the students to go in and use their phone and scan it, register themselves for class, and then you've got their attendance there. And then the other option to do is actually to put it into the PowerPoint directly. So now I'm going to go back to my apps, get my little waffle or apps launcher, and I'm going to find a PowerPoint. So if you already have a PowerPoint, you can just add the slide in. I'm just going to create a new PowerPoint at this point. Let me just open a PowerPoint real quick. And if you do it through the browser, this is the steps to take. If you do it on your desktop, it'll be a slightly different. But what you're looking for is the add-in for forms. So at the top here, you'll see add-ins and then look for forms. If you don't see this as an add-in already, you can search for it and then add the form in. But if you're using the desktop, forms usually shows up across one of these ribbons. I don't remember which one it shows up on. It might be the home ribbon, but you'll find the forms option there. Let me make my screen a little bit smaller so you can see the full screen. So this is your insert form into the slide. So what I want to do is where I have get my link here. Come back over to my presentation. I can just paste that in here and hit insert and then present for interactive meetings. And I will say when you do it this way, any responses that you include here, you're going to see those. So like here, I've already sent a response in, so you're going to see those. So depending on if you want to show attendance and have people's names pop up, you can do that. The other way to do it is just to create a slide itself I'm just going to create a slide, and I can put the link here and have the students, use their computers to log in, or I can go grab that download that I have. Let me insert, let's see, a picture, this device. And then I'm going to grab my QR code and then just place this on your slide and have them use the QR code that way. And I would recommend doing the QR code with this link as well, because some students maybe their phones aren't able to capture the QR code. So you want to have that as an alternative for them, giving them both ways to do it. So that's an easy way to record attendance in class. The other thing you can do with the Microsoft Forms, if you want to do this interactive option, if you have questions, you want to do like a muddy point at the end of class, or you want to do some sort of just kind of a knowledge check throughout the class, you can easily add that into your questions and then have them put that input. And since it's anonymous right now, you can turn the anonymous off when we do go to them having Outlook as well. You'll see those answers pop up. So it's another way to engage your students throughout the class for attendance. And when they do answer those questions, you could have them put their name in as well, and that would capture attendance for you. So if you're doing synchronous online courses, this would be something you could put in the PowerPoint. Maybe as students are coming into the class at the beginning, or middle or end of the class, depending on how you want to register students for their attendance. But then this gives you that record. You have the Excel form that you can go back to anytime to view those results and say, I have my attendance scheduled. And it's the students that are putting that in, so they're acknowledging that they're there for that class period. And if there's other content you want to include with this, not just their name and their date, that they're in attendance, if you want them to include their email or something else to verify it's them, you could do that as well. So that is a quick tidbit on how to record your attendance in classes.
Well, thank you so much, April. I'm really excited about this idea. I wish this had been around while I was still teaching full time, because I certainly would have tried that out. I love the idea of bringing the students into it. I know some faculty have them sign in already. What a great way to kind of combine technology and having the students be actively involved in marking their attendance by doing it this way. So thank you for sharing that tidbit. I'm sure we'll have some faculty who will be excited to try that out, and I hope that we'll hear about how that's going from them when they do try it out.
Definitely. It's kind of like a time clock. Students are responsible to come in and check themselves in for the day. So I think it's giving them that responsibility in a way.
Yes, yes. And I love the just reminder to have more than one option for them to be able to access that. Just, even in our training classes here, sometimes it's some people can do the QR code and some people can't. So I love the idea of the QR code as well. So thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
If you want to continue the conversation with April, please feel free to reach out. You can reach April at april.akins@gvltec.edu. As always, if you have questions you'd like to see featured on an episode, or you have a teaching tidbit worth sharing yourself, or someone who does, please reach out to me, rachel.cobb@gvltec.edu. We would love to feature those tips and tricks and ideas here in an episode in our GTC Teaching Tidbit series. Well, that's this episode of GTC Teaching Tidbits. We'll see you next time.